All right, so we're ready to go. We're boxing beats around Mr. Ali Bashir, Oleksandr Usyk's trainer. So yeah, we was talking on Facebook about how we graded him, and I graded him A+, and I broke it down. The reason why I said that is the first time he went into the 9th round, and he stopped the guy who didn't want to be stopped. So for me, like, boxing beats may be a bit harsher than you yourself, but for me, I thought it was quite impressive. So what was your grade?
I thought that he could have done some things a little earlier. I think that he could have did in 6 or 7 rounds, but I didn't condemn him. I gave him an A. He did a good job, and he did it in workmanlike fashion. He was patient. He picked his punches well, and he moved when he had to move, and he boxed when he had to box. I'm not interested in breaking records or anything like that there. You know, other guys knocked him out long before that, you know, but he's still a crafty veteran, and you can't judge one fight or what happened in another fight, because sometimes the guy says, all right, this is my last shot, I'm going to give it all that I got. So you never know what the mental makeup of the fighter is coming into the fight. So I just had the guy take his time and move to him slowly, break him down a little bit mentally and
I'm a comedy actress and scriptwriter.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Go ahead, Mr. Bashir.
I had him, you know, just methodically break the guy down mentally and physically, frustrate him a bit. You know, you see he couldn't catch up to him because he kept circling away from him. So I had him break him down and then go in for the finishing touch. Yeah.
What was Vitaly Klitschko saying to you? And he kept on talking to you during the round.
Vitaly wants people to fight like him. I'm the trainer, you know. Vitaly might have been a championship fighter, but I've been around boxing for 44 years, long before Vitaly became a boxer or a man. So, you know, he basically was telling me what I should have the fighter do, and I was telling him what I was going to have the fighter to do. I'm the trainer, and that's what I stick to, training. I don't let people from the audience tell me what to do. I don't care who it is, whether it's the champion of the world, the former champion of the world, or what. This is my job. My job is training. I'm teaching boxing. I'm not teaching slugging. I'm not teaching standing there and banging out with somebody, you know, just for the crowd's sake. I'm trying to get a guy through a fight without injury, without being cut or broken bones or anything like that. Yeah. The name of the sport is boxing. So I disagree with the former champion in that venue that I should do this and that. I'm the trainer. He's not a trainer. He's never been a trainer. So he doesn't know what eyes I'm looking at the fight from, and I could care less about what somebody in the audience looked at, you know?
It was an excellent, to me that's what I was saying, I was impressed. I was impressed. It was an excellent, for me it was an excellent boxing display. And yeah, I could see some anxiousness in the crowd, but I don't understand that, because the thing is, when he could have stopped it up and did that a long time ago. But like you said, the art of the game is hit not to be hit. That's the sweet science of the game, and he was exhibiting to me the sweet science of the game of hitting and not being hit. And the opponent was frustrated, and when the opponent started opening him up in the late rounds, then he took him out of it. And I thought that's why I thought it was a very good performance against a better guy than the last guy, because
it wasn't the fighters.
No.
It wasn't his fault that he didn't finish the fight earlier. He did exactly what I instructed him to do.
Okay.
And that was to move and box and not give this guy any opportunity to punch.
Yeah.
You understand? The name of the game is not to give this guy any opportunity to punch. Like I said, you can never tell what the mindset of a guy that's 35 years old, that's been stopped at least on 2 occasions by Machuno and the other African kid. You know, you never can tell the mental makeup of a fighter that comes in that fight like that. They're saying, tonight I'm not going to be stopped. So he can't have an opportunity if you don't present an opportunity. That's my thinking. You know, I'm the ever cautious trainer. I don't want my guy to go out there and engage in a war, you know, just for the sake of the crowd, because when his career is over, that crowd won't be nowhere around. That crowd won't be nowhere around, you know, to look after him or care for him. I want to get the guy through the first. That was his 6th professional fight. I'm sure that Machuno and I forget the African guy's name that stopped him, but I'm sure those guys had more experience and more fights than Usyk had. I don't care about, like I said before, amateur records. The amateurs and the pros are two different entities to me, and you have to approach both of them cautiously, you know, but one more caution than another.
Yeah. Well, I can't critique because I'm not a coach and I'm certainly not a fighter in the league of Vitali. But you know what? The only thing I saw, like the sixth fight, was a good victory. His defense isn't as good when he's stationary as it is when he's moving. When he's moving on his legs, obviously he's hard to hit. But when he was flat-footed, he seemed not vulnerable. He wasn't hurt or tagged with nothing major. But that's the only thing I saw. That's from an armchair supporter's view. And
like I said, styles make fights, you know. A fight can look good, one fight look terrible in another fight. So on any given night, any fight, it can look better or worse, you know. But I think that he did a good job overall. And like you said, you know, maybe his defense wasn't that tight that fight, you know. He got through it. He didn't get injured. So on to the next house and see how he does the next time. You know, the old trainers used to say, "Look good win tonight, look good the next time."
Yeah, definitely. It was Lingard Makubu. That's the last guy who stopped Daniel Venter.
Well, I was satisfied with Usyk's victory. I was satisfied with his work ethic, you know. What I told Vitaly was that I've only been working with this kid for five fights. I've worked with him as his trainer. It's going to take more than 5 fights to make the difference. I don't want to listen to somebody that's outside of the training effort that comes to me from the audience telling me, well, this is what the guy should do. No, that's what you would have done as a fighter. But you can't never say what another fighter should do. I mean, you know, it can be said that Vitaly Klitschko went 10 rounds with Thomas Adamek. He went 12 rounds with Derek Chisora. He went 12 rounds with Shannon. But I'm sure that people on the outside are going to say, well, he should have finished those fights before then.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would.
The fight, he could have finished that earlier as well. You know, everyone can have criticisms. What exactly was he saying, though? What was he trying to advise you to do?
He was saying that Usyk was he was moving too much and that he should settle down. But I got to be the judge of when he should settle down and punch. And when I told him to settle down and punch, you see what happened?
Yeah.
But I've got to be the judge of that, because if something goes wrong out there, the blame is going to always go back to who was the trainer.
Yeah.
It never fails.
Yeah.
It never fails. So I can't listen to who shot John in the audience tell me that he should do this, he should do that. I know the guy best. I'm with him every day throughout the training tenure. And I know the guy best when and when not to go. We was in there with a live wire. This guy was trying to find a place to land some punches, and I didn't want to give him that opportunity. I didn't want no cuts, no head bust. I didn't want nothing to happen. And as it turned out, nothing did happen.
Yeah, it was a complete shot on the cards. You know, I couldn't arguably give him 1 round. I don't give him 1 round. You know.
Can I just say this? And I don't want it to if the interview gets further than us, which it will do. I don't want it to interrupt with Vlad, who's your man and who you are in the camp. But what Vitali done was ban out of order to tell you anything about how to instruct your fighter. It was damn out of order, in my opinion.
Well, you know, some people, you know, you're a fighter, you've been a champion. You know, so you think that you're an authority, but you're only an authority on being a boxer, not from a trainer's perspective. He can't tell me jack. He's never been a trainer.
No, he hasn't.
Nobody has a right to step out of the audience to tell a trainer what to do in the corner. He can only say what he would do from his own perspective. But no, I think it's out of order to do that. I think that is disrespect. It's not good, you know. And I shared my displeasure with the champion. You know, I told him, I said, listen, I've got to make that decision when the guy should settle down and fight. I've got to make that decision. I'm the trainer. You know, I've got to make that decision. Some people may be displeased about how I'm training him, but I'm training boxers. That's my first priority, is to train boxers. Punching, being strong, and all of that stuff comes secondary to me. But the first order of business with me is to train a boxer. The fundamentals of boxing, you know, boxing etiquette, ring generalship. These are the things that I want to teach first, and everything else comes behind that.
Yeah. You see, what is really, and I'm going to say it, you know, I'm shocked. What is really dangerous with him saying that is maybe not Oleksandr Usyk. He may not be swayed by it, but a more impressionable fighter who lives in the same country as Ukraine, they might be saying, well, maybe I should listen to Vitaly instead of my coach. You know, he shouldn't, like, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. And I mean, I don't care who hears it. You know,
I'm not shocked at all. I'm not shocked at all. You have boxers all the time saying what other boxers should do simply because that's the way they would do it. But we know from experience, we know from the past, that's not the way to do it. I've seen a dozen boxers that acted in a role as a trainer and failed.
Yeah.
I think
he was trying to undermine your authority. Didn't you feel that? I felt he was trying to undermine your authority doing that. You know,
I don't know what he was trying to do. I think that he's just over-enthusiastic, overzealous, and he's the promoter. So I think that, you know,
he's the promoter.
He used to do that with Emmanuel. He'd do that with Emmanuel Stewart too.
Oh,
that's just fatality. That's just what he's going to voice his opinion, and he wants to impose his will on you. And if you're weak, you go for that stuff. But no, I'm the trainer. I'm going to do it the way I think that it should be done.
Okay. You know? Sounds like a bit of a bully.
He's a promoter. He's the promoter, Mr. Bashir. He promoted the show.
You know, like I said, you know, the guy's been a boxer all this time. You know, hooray! I just spoke to Vladimir. Vladimir Klitschko and I spoke 3 days ago, and Vladimir said something that was very profound to me. He said, you know, sometimes boxers don't make the best trainers, or sometimes trainers don't make the best boxers. Speaking in reference to Jonathan Banks. He was speaking in reference to his trainer, Jonathan Banks. He said to me, Vladimir Klitschko says sometimes boxers don't make the best trainers, and sometimes the trainers don't make the best boxers. They have to find their place and stay in their place. This is what Vladimir Klitschko said to me. So there's a lot of times that he wasn't in agreement, Vitaly wasn't in agreement the way that Vladimir was fighting fights.
Yeah.
But you see where he's at. You see where he's at today. He hasn't been defeated in how long?
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah. And I remember actually reading where it seemed Vlad was having a power struggle to find his identity from Vitaly, where Vitaly was telling him he should do this. I think it was around the time he was going for his patch when Brewster and Sanders stopped him. And
Vitaly wasn't big on Emmanuel Stewart's tool-list to Vladimir Klitschko. Vitaly wasn't big on it, you know.
Right.
He has a strong personality, you know, and he voices his opinion. But just like he voices his opinion, I voice his mine. He obviously has the experience in being a top level fighter and a champion for many years, but I've got the experience when it comes to training, and I know when to hold them and I know when to fold them, and I don't need nobody to tell me. I've been at this for 44 years, long before Vitaly Klitschko was even a man. So I don't need somebody to tell me when I need to train, what I need to do in a fight.
Yeah.
I don't need anybody to do that. So I just maintained my course. He said what he had to say, I said what I had to say, and I kept on doing what I do. You see what happened in the end.
Yeah.
The end results. My mother said the end results. My mother said the end results is in the tasting of the pudding. You understand? It doesn't matter the mechanics that you use in making that pie or the pudding. The end result is what the people want.
Yeah.
All right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, look, man, I think we should try and change the tone of this interview, because we're talking like it's a funeral. He won well. He wasn't hurt. He wasn't cut. Where are we going next? Where are we going next?
Well, we're going to wait and see what K2 Promotions has in store for Oleksandr Usyk, and then we'll go from there. But I'm sure that we'll get a live wire. You know, he's a champion, and I'm sure that we'll get a live wire. We'll get another test. Every fight to me is another step towards the championship of the world, and each fight is a different fight. Each fight is tailor-made. You have to tailor-made the boxer for the fight that he's going to face. You know.
With this fight here, do you know where he's ranked in the world body right now with this fight? Because that was a pretty decent.
I think he's ranked number 5, if I'm not mistaken. He's number 5 in the world on the WBO. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. That's you really fast tracking him for real. He's number 5 in the world already. And it's
I think he's number 5. I think he's number 5 in the world.
So Marco Huck, boy, look out. Woo. Next time.
Yeah, Marco Huck is a champion. He's a champion at heart. He's a champion in his efforts. And as you can see, he's got, 13 title defenses since he lost to Stevie Cunningham?
Yeah, he's just tied Johnny Nelson's record at the cruiserweight limit. So he's looking, next fight, he's looking to surpass Johnny Nelson, which is, Johnny's not happy about that in the UK, you know. But, yeah. So that's sometime next year, maybe looking, Usyk maybe not next year, the year after, a title shot against Marco Huck.
No, I think we're going to fight Marco Huck next year.
You think?
Yeah, but you know what the super fight would be for me? I think in maybe a year and a half or so would be against Berbetiev. That, you know what I mean? That would be in a year and a half maybe when they've both matured and, you know, it's a promotable fight. I think the Berbetiev fight Sorry, I'm pretty sure that we're going to probably go against Marco Huck next year. I just got the gut feeling that, and it's a tough fight. It's a tough fight, but Usyk is a tough fighter, and Marco Huck is a tough fighter. So it'll be a great fight for boxing. It'll be a great fight for the cruiserweight division.
Yeah, with the style he's adopting, I might give Marco Huck all the problems in the world, man. All the problems in the world. You know, and you're right. It's absolutely right. You know, hit and not be hit, and your career, you have your career to go on as long as possible. You know, like you said, the less time they get hit, the more that the longer time they're going to be in the game. And the way he's fighting.
Why do you think Vladimir Klitschko has been around this long, and now he's coming to fruition because he's boxed, he's grabbed, he's held, he survived the tough times, and now he's starting to come back into his old self with the last fight, the last showing.
Yeah,
you know, sometimes it takes a fighter time to become comfortable in the ring, comfortable to become profound with being a professional.
Yeah.
So when you leave the amateurs, you don't have that headgear on, and you got the smaller gloves on. You know, you can sit in the audience and say what a guy could do and what he should do, but hey, nobody wants to get clipped with those 10 ounces on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think you can beat Marco Huck with something to spare by next year. I think he can beat him. Mr. Usyk, he can beat Marco Huck with a little to spare. From what I see how he boxes, you know, on the move, Huck won't be able to touch him. The jab will be too quick. I think we're a little bit more seasoning. No rush at all. And what I'm trying to do is let him to come into maturity without forcing me. You know, like you put a plant under a lamp and force the seed to grow quick. I want him to come into maturity naturally. You know, yes.
So. The last two guys that we fought, both of the guys were from South Africa. They were good B- level fighters, you know. They might be on the backside of their career, but if you go in there and fooling around, they're quick and get you out of there.
Yeah. It's like the guy was fighting, he had a good technique. And what it is, man, I think Usyk realizes that he is a level above these guys, but you still got to stay concentrated. That makes it pretty difficult. I think the higher the level of competition raises, the more we'll see.
Yeah,
that's what I believe. I
think that he's going to fight better with the level of competition that he encounters.
Yeah.
I think that he's going to fight better as he goes, you know. I'm enthusiastic about working with him. We have a good chemistry. He listens well, and he tries to execute on everything that I ask. I just told him, you know, in the corner to be patient behind the jab. When he has room to land the left hand, land it. land the left hand when you have room to. But I saw that Danie Venter was trying to counterpunch. So I constantly had Usyk to do different things to bait him to see just what he was thinking, and he showed that he's waiting to counterpunch. He's waiting to counterpunch with right hands, and there was those people saying, oh, he can't hurt him with the right hand, and so-and-so knocked him out in 4 rounds, so-and-so knocked him out in 7 rounds. But again, that's not being professional to me, because you can never go into a fight thinking one thing as opposed to another.
That's right.
That's how you get knocked out. That's how you be looking up at the lights. And then the people that said that to you, they straight to the back of the crowd, and you left out in the open as the one that implemented that idea. I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree. And nothing where I pointed out, his conditioning was tremendous. He continued to be on the balls of his foot for 9 rounds, and I was thinking, boy, if there was 15 rounds, he probably could have done that as well. His conditioning is tremendous for someone that big to be bouncing around on his feet, man. I don't know what conditioning he's doing. It's tremendous, man. Tremendous conditioning.
Yeah, it only fortifies his strength, mental and physical strength, for the battles that are yet to come, And when he does that, again, it only fortifies him and lets him know what he's capable of doing. I think he can do 15 rounds like that easily.
Yeah.
In fact, many times that I have him go through that inside the gym to see if he can do it. I'll have him do 15 rounds in the gym.
See, but
3-4 times in the training camp, I have him do 15 rounds.
I could tell. Is
that bouncing, like, I'm not saying to abandon that. I think it's great to have them feet, but is that sustainable over a long career? Because look at Sergio Martinez, like, without that bouncing movement, he's not the same fighter. Ali, when he came off his toes, he wasn't really the same fighter. Is it advisable? This is from an armchair supporter's perspective. Is it advisable to know how to fight flat-footed too?
No, Usyk can fight flat-footed, but I'll save that for the time when he has to do it. But right now, at 27 years old, he doesn't have to do it. He's got some years before he settles down. He's 27 years old. At 27 years old, I mean, he's got at least 5 years of that. He could do that for 5 more years. I mean, did you see Vladimir Klitschko in the last fight?
Yeah, he was doing the same thing.
Did you see the foot movement? Did you see the foot movement?
Yeah, he was doing the same thing before he leaped to the left.
He's 37 years old. So I think it's mind over matter. I think that if a guy trains religiously, if he's spontaneous in training, he'll be able to do it in the fight. I think if a guy trains properly, right sleep, right eat, right timing, everything, I think he can do that there 5-6 more years easily.
Okay.
It's just a mentality,
Yeah.
You don't have to go out there and just stand in front of everybody, but you have to be mobile. That's part of boxing. Roy Jones was very mobile, and Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes, very mobile guys. For a long time, they was able to utilize that mobility to carry them over to a win.
Yes, indeed.
And Holmes did it for a long time. He did it for a long time until he couldn't do it no more. Ali did it a long time. Roy Jones did it a long time. In fact, that was Roy Jones' greatest asset was his mobility, his movement,
Yeah. Mr. Bashir, I need to ask you, so I was watching the Larry Holmes fight. It's a rare fight. Do you remember a heavyweight named Roy Williams?
Yeah.
He was pretty good.
Red Fox, the comedian, was the manager for Roy Williams.
I was watching him fight Larry Holmes. He's pretty good, man. He was pretty good.
He fought Roy Williams in Landover, Maryland, the same night that Muhammad Ali fought Jimmy Young.
Yeah.
I was there at that fight.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And Roy Williams, I think, was undefeated when Larry beat him.
I'm not sure if he's undefeated. He was never stopped. He could have been undefeated, actually. He actually could have been, yeah.
I think when Larry Holmes fought Roy Williams, I'm not certain, but it was in Landover, Maryland. I remember it was Landover, Maryland, because he fought Jimmy Young that night, Muhammad Ali did, and most people thought that Roy Williams was going to give it to Larry Holmes, and Larry Holmes flipped the switch on him, you know?
Yeah, like Roy, he was a good fight because he'd pick your shots off in the glove, and he was big. He had a big, long reach, and he was tall, and it jab your head off. He was a good fighter, man. He was good. He was good. I was impressed with that, you know? And did you hear about Ernie Terrell? He passed away.
Yeah, I just heard about Ernie Terrell. I salute him and I respect him, you know? He was a good fighter.
Indeed.
Very good fighter, you know? And speaking of good fighters, another thing I was impressed with about Usyk was the way he finished the fight.
Yeah, that's right.
If you look at the tape again of the fight, you'll see in the corner just before the stoppage, in the 9th round, before the beginning, I told Usyk, you can see me tell him in the corner, to go out and finish this fight now. This guy is shot, he's tired, he's exhausted. Go out there and help him get out of this fight. I told him in the corner, go out and finish this fight now. And he went out and did just that. And the way that he did it, I was impressed, because he punched and he didn't stop punching until he was on the floor.
Yeah.
The referee had to basically come between him to stop him from punching. Yeah. That's how you stop a guy in the ring. That's how you stop him.
Yeah. He showed a lot of killer instinct when he finished off his man, though. I have to say that. It was quite vicious.
And it's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the sport. It ain't always pretty, but it's effective. And I like the way he finished the fight.
Yeah, wear him down and take him up. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what people have to bear in mind, and that's what I was watching all the time, like, Venter was looking for the counter, and he was still strong. Like, you know, you can't just, you got to peck him and wear him down a little more. You need to wear him down. And he was just looking for the counter punches. He was looking for counter punches, and I saw that from the very first round. So I said, just take your time, work behind your jab, and land your left hand when you do. But in the meantime, win the rounds, and that's just what he did.
Yeah. He's working the right hand up and down the body.
Usyk told me as early as the 5th round, I can go and I can do this now, you know. But I said, no, let's just be patient. That's the kind of trainer I am. I'm not trying to build wrong things. I can finish this now. I can get him now. You know, I can get him now. But I held him back. Because I didn't think that the time was right. And as you can see, in the 7th and 8th round, you can see Venter throwing counter punches. He was trying to get lucky.
Oh, yeah.
You know? He was trying to get lucky. And I didn't want this young charge to run into nothing. You know, I don't need a guy on the back burner for 6 months, healing up from a cut or a broken hand or something, from getting into a slugfest. I didn't need that. We can box the guy, win all the rounds, and get the lesson and go home. I mean, everybody cares about a knockout, but not to the extent where I want my guy to get hurt getting it.
Yeah, that's right. Knockouts come when you're just doing your job. You're not supposed to go out and try and force them. That's what I was always told by the old timers. Don't try and force the knockout. You know, work for your openings, and when you're open, come take them. And that's what he did. Yeah.
So it's wise advice. It's wise advice. You know, to take your time. You know, to take your time and walk him down slowly and try to get the KO like that. Otherwise, go the distance.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
I don't want my guy going out trying to knock everybody out. Sometimes you go out your way trying to get these knockouts, you know, trying to keep up with the knockout thing, and you get in trouble like that sometimes. And I'm not a fan of that, you know. I'm a fan of pure boxing. You know, boxing, and everything else falls into place behind that. You know, I hear people. Everything is like a cliche in boxing. People say, you know, that, you know, everything comes off the jab. But in my mind, no, everything doesn't come off the jab. everything does not come off the jab. In my mind, everything comes off the feint. Even the jab, everything starts off of that feint.
Yeah.
Or as the old timers would say, stutter step. You understand? Stutter step. You never know. You know, if you look at Jersey Joe Walcott, you look at Jimmy Young and other fighters of the past who use those little deeks and feints, you can learn the art of boxing from that. Because feigning is a separate art from boxing. They're two different entities. And so is the application. So I don't think that anybody should just grab a hold to cliches and say, you know, that this is the best way. Everything comes off the jab. You hear something from it, everybody jumps on that band like, yeah, everything comes off the jab because it sounds cliche-ish. And it actually is, because everything in my mind, as my trainer taught me in 1959, he said, no, everything comes off the feint.
Yeah.
And I hold on,
Yeah, because it opens, that makes you make a mistake, and then you can do what you want to do. You draw the...
I know the average human being, I don't care nobody, the average human being is going to flinch if somebody feint them.
Yeah.
I know I am. If you feint me a couple of times, I'm going to get away from you. I'm just a step away. You have to be feinting all night because I won't be there. You feint me, I'm allowed to be across the street somewhere.
Yeah. Lennox Lewis, though, I was watching him this week on a ringside program, and they was talking about just technique. And he said he doesn't feint when he throws the jab because he says you're showing your opponent that you're going to jab. So he had his style like he was showing Deontay Wilder, not to telegraph it, and he'd just shoot it out, and he wouldn't feint. So, like you say, there's no right way. There's no right way. It works. I mean,
there's no wrong way. I disagree with Lennox on that. I disagree with him. It's because you don't show a guy a feint. You can feint a guy once, or you can feint him 15 times. How do you know when the guy gonna throw a jab? You know, if you're gonna feint and then throw the jab, they're gonna be looking for it. But if you feint the guy 15, 20 times, how do you know when the jab gonna come?
Exactly. You don't know what's gonna come.
You look at Joe Walcott.
At the same time, he was successful. So, it's like you said, it works indiscriminately. Like it works for over here, and it don't work there. Some people use that.
I mean, well, he was successful. But you can't say that doesn't work for other guys. I mean, he wasn't boxing super fast guys. He wasn't boxing really fast, super fast guys. So, I mean, he could land that jab. He was a good boxer, but he wasn't boxing super slick, super fast guys either,
Yeah. Well, that's good. But I was impressed.
I had a young guy that used to box Lennox all the time, Maurice Harris out of New Jersey. And this guy could box. He could really box. I mean, he was a fantastic boxer. He used to give Lennox fits because he was real slick and quick and good feints and stuff, and it would throw Lennox off, It would throw him off out of sync a lot of times. That's what the art of feigning is. That's the art of deking and feigning and stutter stepping. That's all combined in the feint move. The feint, like I said, is a boxing additive, And that's one of the things I teach boxers,
Yeah. That's why I used to see, watching the old black and whites of Sam Langford. I see him throwing feints on his opponents, and he was excellent at it, man.
Look at Archie Moore.
Yeah.
So you can't say that it's not effective. It's been effective. I would suggest that people feint each other to try to keep off what might be coming. Because like I said, when you feint a guy, he's got to start all over again. That feint can break up anything that you're trying to do. You better pay attention and respect to him, because if you don't, you can find yourself in a world of trouble. I
agree, and also as well, because the Usyk is a southpaw, it makes it doubly hard because he's got the foot movement, and he makes sure the guy is always in his target range, and he works his right hand up and down. He's very hard to deal with, It's very, very awkward. Any guy gonna fight him is very hard. Slick south. I was actually calling him a slick southpaw because he just, the way he was moving and stuff like that, it's very hard to hit.
Yeah, I was depending on that, and I'm still depending on that. Like I said, I always implore Usyk. One thing that he didn't do, he didn't use a lot of jabs in that fight. Now, I was imploring him to use the jab because a southpaw jab is very, very difficult to deal with. It's very difficult to deal with a southpaw jab. And when you're not jabbing, then you invite yourself to be jabbed against, you know. So it's something that we have to work on, you know. There's some things that he's doing and that he's not doing that we have to work on. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, definitely. So what sparring partners do you bring in? When you're analysing your opponent, what sort of sparring partners are you using for Usyk, for getting ready for these fights?
Well, mostly, young Ukrainian guys. These are rugged, tough guys, and they come in and give us the work that we need. I look at the styles of them, and I bring them from all over Ukraine.
Wow.
We haven't brought in no world-class guys. Outside Oleksandr came in and gave us some work.
Okay.
How'd that go?
Ola was with us for a couple of weeks until his fight fell out, and then he left.
He fell out?
Oleksandr was there. He was working with us. He worked with us for 2 weeks, and then his fight with Hernandez fell out, and then he left. But we got some good work from Oleksandr.
Oh yeah, I bet. He was on the program too. He was talking about his overhand right. Now he throws his overhand right. Mr. Ofalabi, he was on there too. On the same program as that Lennox was on.
And he was talking about what?
No, he was on the program that Lennox Lewis was. They was just discussing technique and showing how to do certain techniques. And Ofalabi was on there. He was showing how he threw his overhand right.
You talking about Ringside? You're talking about Ringside, yeah, Beach?
Yeah.
That's what he's talking about. He's talking about the UK show over here called Ringside. It came out earlier on today.
Right.
Yeah, and then they were showing techniques of the fight. So Olafalabi's fight has been cancelled with Hernandez. That fight's been postponed?
Yes, the fight has been postponed.
Do you know why?
Hernandez injured himself.
It's a shame. I was looking forward to that. It's a shame. So next year, it's probably penciled in for next year. It's a shame. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Bashir.
He had a slight injury, so they had to postpone the fight. I think they moved it up a couple of months, but the fight's still going to happen.
Okay. Yeah. I sent you 2 videos from IFL TV. And you said I asked you how it was when you get off the floor laughing your head off. So did you actually watch the videos I sent you?
Yeah, I did.
What was your take on it? What was your take on what Tyson Fury had to say?
No more than it has been for all the other guys that came to fight Vladimir Klitschko. Everybody says what they have to say coming towards the fight with Vladimir Klitschko, but and nothing special, nothing stood out. To me, nothing stood out at all.
Okay, fair enough.
Nothing that you can hang your hat on and say, wow, I'm really worried about it. I mean, Tyson Fury is a good fighter, you know, and he's going to come with a plan, and we've got to formulate a plan to try to combat him.
Yeah. That's great. So you would see when you talk about the Kingpin, I keep thinking about the Kingpin. They were saying it's like he uses a lot of feints when he fights. He uses a lot of feints only when he fights, so he's going to give Joshua a lot of problems. How do you see that fight going?
It depends on which Kevin Johnson shows up. If Kevin Johnson is at his best, he can cause a lot of problems for young Joshua. Young Joshua is going to do what young Joshua has been doing. He has no reason to change because he's been successful at it.
Yeah.
And I think that he's still maturing. There's no doubt in my mind he's still maturing. But a seasoned guy that wants to be in that ring, that wants to perform, could cause problems for Anthony Joshua. But it's going to be a difficult fight for both guys, I think.
You think it'll go the distance?
Yeah, most likely. I think it'll go the distance.
But that would be good. That would be good for him, you know. That would be good for him because no one's gone the distance as well. That would be good for him.
Kevin Johnson is not just the kind of guy that you can knock out. You just don't come in the ring and knock out Kevin Johnson. Yeah. Like I said, if Anthony Joshua can knock out Kevin Johnson, that'll be a big feather in his resume.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
His resume would really be ringing, you know, if he can do that.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, man. Going back to Usyk, Oleksandr Usyk. Yeah, so the 9 rounds, man, he done it fairly comfortably and stuff like that. So looking in, obviously you're not choosing the opponent and stuff like that, but in the cruiserweight division, there's not much. It's quite thin from where we are and where we are to the champions and that. So he probably get, like you said, he'll probably get a championship shot against Marco Huck sometime next year. I can actually see that happening. It'd probably be in the Ukraine as well, or maybe in Germany probably. So that would be very interesting. And a lot of people, because did you see our commentary on the actual fight? What do you think? Was accurate, or how do you think our commentary was?
On what?
We commentated on the Usyk's last fight.
What do I think on the commentary of his last fight?
Yeah. Do you think we was accurate about what we were saying?
What you guys did?
Yeah. No, you didn't.
I didn't hear your commentary.
Oh, you haven't seen it. I sent you a version of we do commentary in it. We found.
Oh, okay, all right. On the mail you sent me.
Yeah. The recent fight, we done commentary in it. So everything we were saying everything we said now today, we were saying it when we was commentating.
Okay, I'll take a look at it. I saw two messages you sent to me, and I thought it was the Tyson Fury messages.
No. Okay, it's one before in it. I'll send you again.
I saw the one before that. Now I'll take a look at it.
Okay, cool. All right, then.
I'll take a look at it. I'll take time to take a look at it. But
we were saying everything was happening in time, but you see that when Vitaly was talking to you, he wasn't aware, but it wasn't normally because in the last fight that didn't happen, but this fight obviously went longer. And it was a lot of time he was in the corner talking to you. We was trying to work out.
I got the impression that they may have gotten nervous, but I never got the nerves at all during the fight. Yeah. I felt that we had the fight under control. I felt that at some point in the fight that he would catch him, and then when he catch him, that he would finish it, and that's what happened. Even if he had gone the distance, I would have felt that he had a chance to stop him all the way to the last second of the fight. Yeah. Usyk is that kind of guy. Once he lands that good shot, then it's most of the time it's a done deal.
Okay. Well.
And the fact that Daniel didn't try to hold. He didn't try to hold. He tried to fight. He was trying to fight his way out of trouble as opposed to holding.
Yeah. Usyk was just too quick, too sharp. Too quick, too sharp. Always a step ahead.
No, I really appreciate Danie Venter. He's a classy guy, and he came there and he tried. I mean, you can't ask no more from a fighter than what you got.
Yeah.
The South African fighter, the ones that I've encountered, I have great respect for them because they come to fight. They come to fight. They don't come to play. They come to fight. And I have great respect for them, and always will respect them.
Yeah. So Vitaly, you said Vitaly is the promotional now. He's promoting the fight now. Is that right?
K2 Promotions is the Klitschko Brothers Promotions.
Oh, I know that. Okay. Oh.
K2 Promotions is the Klitschko Brother Promotions. It's been around for years.
See, because it was that Bernard. I thought he was the.
Yeah, Bernard Bunting.
Yeah, I thought he was the. Okay, all right.
He's a K2 East Klitschko Management Group. That's the Klitschko Management Group, and K2 Promotions is Tom Loeffler. It's two different entities there.
Yeah.
But
they're powerful. Vitaly and Vlad are powerful people, man. Even outside the ring, that's.
Yeah. They're classy guys and they're intelligent guys, And they own the whole ball of wax. They're their own promoter, their own manager, everything. So and it's been like that for years.
Yeah.
And they manage also Ola Afalabi. They manage Triple G. So they're making some strides. They was managing Jonathan Banks. I think that's done.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Banks. Yeah, we haven't asked you about that. What's your take on that with Jonathan Banks and Antonio Tarver?
Well, I told you when you asked me about it. I said it depends on what Jonathan Banks shows up. When you first asked me about it, I picked him to decision Antonio Tarver, And then I said it depends on what Jonathan Banks shows up, and obviously that's not the Jonathan Banks that I know.
Yeah.
That's not the Jonathan Banks that I know. He's a better puncher, better boxer. It just looked like he never got his foot off first base.
Do you reckon that's to do with too much distractions? Obviously, with just too much distractions of, and they're not focused enough.
One thing I don't buy into when a guy says I was distracted because I was training the champion, or I was distracted because I was sleeping around, or I was distracted because I was having marital problems. Don't get your ass in the ring.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's all. But because when you get in the ring, a lot of people is involved with your efforts.
Yeah.
And it reflects on a lot of people that's around you. So if you're having problems with your lady, and you're having problems with your mortgage, or you're having any kind of problems that's going to take away from your performance in that ring, my suggestion is don't get your ass in the ring. So all that distraction stuff, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear.
Yeah. But what I wanted to input is, like, because a fighter, he wants to be the center of attention in the gym. People are catering to his needs, the trainers, whoever, even the people holding the water bucket. But he's been giving all his attention to another fighter in cultivating him. How easy could it be for him to actually say, okay, well, it's all on me. I'm in the ring now. The spotlight's on me. Is it easy to switch from that to that, wouldn't you say? From being a trainer and a heavyweight champion to now.
I've never been a professional boxer. You know, I've never juggled two at the same time, so I couldn't possibly answer that kind of question.
Okay. Yeah.
I would think that it would be difficult to wear those hats.
Yeah.
I think that at the age, I think Jonathan came into the job at 31 years old. I would have just said respectfully, you know, I got my own career. I would have never tried to engage that. I would have never tried to do that there. But some people, I just don't understand the thinking of them. You're 31 years old, you're in the prime of your life, and you're trying to be a champion, and then you train another guy to do it. So I don't understand. I just don't understand the thinking of the young man that did that. But he did do it. He undertook it. He tried to fight and tried to be the trainer. You know, I just don't think that the two mix. Personally, I don't think the two mix. You know, I would have stayed as a boxer to see what I could do, what kind of noise I can make, what kind of name I can make. Maybe I can get into a position. I'm sure that K2 would have got him in a position to fight for a title at some point. You know, Deontay or one of those guys. But, you know, he made the decision, and now it looks like he's going to be relegated to being a trainer for real.
Yeah, get it out of your system first, and then, you know, fall back on the training after, Get the boxing out of your system.
Well, I guess that was a chance of a lifetime. Let him off from the job, and he jumped for it. But in the meantime, he sacrificed his own career. It seems to be that way, that he sacrificed his own career to do that.
Yeah. So what's your take on Antonio Tarver obviously winning? So what do you think Tarver's going to do, man? He calling out. What do you think he's going to do in the heavyweight division? That was
I think that is good for the division, but I don't think that he's going nowhere. Mm-hmm. I don't see him going nowhere. You know, at the age that he's at, his style, I just don't see him cracking guys like Joshua, Wilder, Stavern, Ruiz, these kind of guys. I just don't think that he's going to be able to do nothing with those guys. Ruiz is like the baby of those guys. He's short, stubby, but he comes to fight. You know,
he's fighting soon as well. I can't remember he's fighting.
He comes to fight, you know, and as slick as Tarver is, he might have he'd have his hands full with that kid. You know, so I don't think that he's going nowhere. I mean, I don't see Tarver cracking Vladimir Klitschko's anything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what he do. I mean, he'd get paid, but he'd take a beating in the process.
Mr. Bashir, I don't like Andy Ruiz's conditioning. I don't like it.
Huh?
I don't like Andy Ruiz's conditioning. I don't like he doesn't look in shape.
Yeah, but he's a young guy, so a lot of that's baby fat. He doesn't look in shape, but have you seen him fight?
Yeah, I have, and some of the performances I haven't been that impressed, you know?
No, I haven't either. You got to get some of that, rid of that fat, but I think that fat will come off him. He got a lot of baby fat on him, but he comes to crack, you know? He comes to crack. He's got to get it off him.
Yeah.
I've seen other guys like that that had that same kind of baby fat on and knock your lights out, you know? But how old is Ruiz? 23?
How old is Ruiz? He's about 25.
Yeah, maybe he'll work it off next time, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
And his reach, he's got a very short reach as well, man. So, I don't know. Maybe he could exceed my pessimism. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see next year.
Yeah, I'm thinking that also about David Tua, too.
Yeah, he had a short reach.
Yeah, he did.
It was knockout, but he's very powerful, though.
Yeah, very powerful. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We have to wait and see what goes on with that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're drifting off Alex Usyk. This is supposed to be the post-fight, so we drift off. So, we've got the closing for Oleksandr Usyk. What's the so next year we got a world title for Oleksandr Usyk, no doubt, Mr. Bashir. Yeah. We're looking.
I'm thinking that they're going to move for the world title next year, 2015. That they'll move for the world title.
Well, that's good. Anything else, Bish, you want to add?
No, we've summed it all up.
Yeah.
We appreciate your time, Mr. Bashir, and we look forward to seeing what Mr. Usyk can do.
It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. You know.
Yes.
Yeah. If we don't, you go ahead.
We're gonna try not to let you guys down. We're gonna try to get better with each time out. But as I said before to all the people in the listening audience, you know, that boxing is like driving. The terrain changes at every mile. Nothing goes smoothly like you think that it's going to go. There's a curve, and there's some rough spots, you know, so it's difficult. Boxing is a difficult sport. You have to make adjustments, you know, you have to make adjustments to be able to win and maintain the record of winning.
Yes, indeed.
Absolutely. And on that note, if we don't talk to you by this year, we wish you a Merry Christmas and obviously Oleksandr Usyk, and the world title beckons for next year. So thanks for your time, Mr. Bashir. And
yes.
Obviously you're gonna sign out with the Ukraine to say goodbye in Ukraine as well. Go ahead.
I'm here in Ukraine and I'm enjoying it. I'm doing work with other fighters here, you know, so I haven't even gone home. I haven't been home in 3 months.
Wow.
So, you know, and I probably won't get home until sometime in mid-January or something.
Oh, okay. Wow, man.
Because I'm here working with other fighters, so...
That's more or less home as well. You've got 2 homes.
Yeah. And Austria, too. Don't forget Austria. Austria is home, too.
Wow.
And I've been zipping down to Germany. So between Germany, Austria, and Ukraine is like second home for me because I'm in and out of all those different countries. I'm trying to open a gym down in Dusseldorf. Trying to open a gym here in the Ukraine. So I'm pretty busy, thank God, you know, that I have work. And then I have people who want to work with me. So I'm gonna be doing some work. I'll fly down to Dusseldorf on next Wednesday to sit down and go over details, trying to open a gym there in Dusseldorf. And then I'll come back up to Austria to our training camp. and then back to Ukraine. And sometime next year, God willing, I'll go home, you know. But right now, there's boxing business that has to be taken care of, you know. And I want to do as much as I can while I can.
Well,
you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thanks, Mr. Bashir. You want to sign out with a Ukraine? How do you say goodbye in Ukraine again for the fight fans listening?
До свидания.
До свидания.
Goodbye. But for right now, it says spokojnej nocy. Good night.
All right, Mr. Bashir, take care, my son.
DJ Boxing Live here. DJ Boxing Live here.
Buster Douglas knocked him out. Buster Douglas, the fat punk, the legend.
Yo, this is Chris Caban chilling with my man EJ Boxing Live, one of the hottest, dopest boxing channels on YouTube. Check him out.
The Boxing beat some rounds on the EJ Live YouTube channel.
And Bashir was the number 10 rating contender, and he had never been knocked down. And Sonny destroyed his mouth. Bashir lost most of his teeth, basically with 1 or 2 left hooks.
Oh shit, boy! What was look at kids sleeping like Manny Pacquiao?
DJ Boxing Live here. DJ Boxing Live here.